People have a fascination with the weather, just like we do. And they want to get our insight into why the weather is doing what it's doing. We even show pictures.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Channel. I'm Christina Abernathy. We still have some wet weather and some storms moving through the Plain States. We'll have more on that coming up in just a moment. But first, it's time for our tropical update and the latest on George. The latest coordinates have it centered at 30.5 north, 88.9 west. That puts the center near Biloxi, Mississippi. The maximum sustained winds 45 miles per hour, moving off to the south-southeast at 5 miles per hour, and the pressure at 985 millibars. We have the threat for severe weather associated with this tropical storm. Often when we see these landfalling systems, we do have severe weather spawn from these, including tornadoes, and we do have a tornado watch box in effect here for parts of Florida, southwestern Georgia, and on into southern Alabama. We have a watch here to the north, but we'll have more on that coming up in just a moment. Back to the south we go. The threat of severe weather, but also the threat of tremendous amounts of rain. We've had over 20 inches of rain estimated in some areas here through southern Alabama and into the panhandle of Florida. That is definitely enough to cause some big time problems, and that's definitely what you have been seeing here, and the rain continues to fall. Just take a look at the radar. It is not showing any signs of letting up for you here around Mobile and over towards Pensacola. We see the northern extent of that rain up towards Montgomery and then Birmingham, but also you'll want to watch out around central Georgia and northern Georgia. Look out at Atlanta. We see some wet weather to the south of the metro area right now. So a lot going on here. A closer view shows that indeed the rain continues to rotate around and continues to affect you in Pensacola. Watch out, perhaps Panama City could get in on some of the activity. Albany as well, and Dothan. It looks like a brief break for you, but it's just a matter of time, we think, before more wet weather moves in. And of course, Mobile, Montgomery, you continue to be affected as well. Well, that's it for George. Continuing to watch it here, but we also have Hurricane Jeanne that we're watching out in the Atlantic. Here are the latest coordinates on Jeanne, centered at 35.8 north, 36.6 west. That puts the center about 500 miles west-southwest of the Azores. The winds 90 miles per hour. It's racing off to the northeast at 21 miles per hour, and the pressure at 977 millibars. So interest in the Azores, we'll want to keep an eye on this, but certainly not concerned about it in the U.S. That's it for the tropics. We will have more on Tropical Storm George coming up in Weather Center at the top of the hour. You'll want to stay tuned for that. But now we're going to focus in on what's going on a bit here to the north. Severe weather threat continues for you in parts of Kansas and on into Nebraska and Iowa. We could have some rough weather indeed. And we also have a bit of wet weather here associated with our front off to the east and some scattered showers in the west. But right in here, again, this is where that watch is in effect, the severe thunderstorm watch. And we have indeed been dealing with some pretty big storms here rumbling around Kansas City. As a matter of fact, some of these storms have produced golf ball size hail. So severe weather around, you'll want to watch out for that and remain alert to the possibility for some nasty weather as we head through this evening. Off to the south we go, and again, just another perspective on that moisture and the rain associated with Tropical Storm George as it continues to really pound you here with heavy rain and still some windy conditions around too. So once again, that threat for severe weather here and to the north. A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for parts of Kansas. And again, around Kansas City, things have been a bit rough for you. Where you see the yellows and the reds here on the radar, that's where some of the worst of it is. And again, these do have a history of producing large hail. So wet weather around. Some of the rain is going to be very heavy. Locally, 10 inches or more of rain for you. That is enough to cause some big time problems, and we're still going to be dealing with that rain into Tuesday morning and beyond. Well, stay tuned. Coming up next on Weather Center, we'll have more details on Tropical Storm George. Don't go away.
George has lost some of its punch, but not its effects. For the latest flood warnings and continuous updates, rely on the experts. Watch Weather Center next.
Hurricane George was downgraded to a tropical storm Monday, but not before it did extensive damage. Hurricane-force winds battered the coast of Mississippi and Alabama. It downed trees and power lines and bounced boats on the water. These scenes are from